Today we're going to be talking about tests, the trials and tribulations. Why does God sometimes let bad things happen to us? Because sometimes bad things are beneficial for our growth, like relationships. A lot of us go through relationships with horrible people and we want to leave that situation and find somebody better, and we find somebody else and we find somebody else and we find somebody else until we get to the point where all females are the same or all men are the same. But we're not reflecting, we're not meditating, we're not doing our inner work. We're not realizing that I am the same person that keep attracting that same person. Even though that person is in it may be a different body, but you're attracting the same spirit because spiritually you have not evolved. God will try to teach you a lesson in people sometimes. And so it's important to grow and learn from your lessons instead of taking every failed relationship as a loss. It was a lesson. And when you take that lesson, you'll meet better people because you are now growing spiritually and mentally. Therefore, you're able to attract things that are better for yourself. And one thing to remember, if you're favored by God, you're also favored by the devil. And that's why sometimes God allows us to come under attack from the devil or from the demons or from negative people. And this is just to teach us, because if we never had to learn to differentiate the evil spirits from the good spirits, we will forever be taken advantage of. So sometimes negative people will be allowed to get into your energy and allowed to irritate you, allowed to try to get under your skin. But this is to teach you lessons again. It's to teach you about your discernment. It's to teach you about your intuition. And the more you ignore it, the more the attacks will come, because God is trying to teach you a lesson. You see, a lot of us can see these things happening. We can see these negative people. We can see people that shouldn't be around us, but we ignore our inner compass. Therefore, it's God's way of training you. Stop ignoring the signs, and as you start to learn the signs, it start to slowly stop, because it's not that they stop trying, it's that you're aware now, and you're able to maneuver around the negativity. You're able to maneuver around the karmics, the negative people, the bad spirits, the demons, the devils, whatever you want to call them. But that's because you have awareness. A lot of us on our journey is called into isolation. It's hard to hear the voice of God. It's hard to understand yourself when you're always surrounded by other people and other people's opinion. Sometimes too many opinions will be hurtful for you when you're trying to develop, because you tend to not understand what your opinion is. You tend to not understand what your thoughts are, because you have so many other things from external sources that are being planted inside of your head. You need to plant your own seeds. So God will force you into isolation. God will force you into isolation. And sometimes you may feel like people are rejecting you, the people that you loved, all of them pushing you away. But it's all for your growth. When you're alone, you're able to reflect. You're able to do the meditation. You're able to really learn and understand yourself, and you're able to build that connection with God. And it's where God will slowly pour into you. But if you never have the time for self, that means you'll never have the time for God. Another test and another trial. This one can be painful if you're not willing to initiate it yourself. You might lose your job. You might start to lose loved ones. And not necessarily like they dying, but they might start to be cold towards you. Your job might fire you. Your girl might cheat on you. Your family might start to hate on you. And it's because as you start to walk and you start to grow and that light within you start to burn, some people will get envious, some people will get jealous, and some people just can't be around you no more. Even though you want to ignore the signs and you want them to stay around and you want to keep these connections, God will rip them from you because you're trying to cling on to them when he's telling you he needs you to empty yourself. You got to let go of the negativity in order to receive the positivity. And sometimes if you're clinging to it, you're allowing negativity in your life. And so he will force it out of your life. And if you refuse still, then you start to get hit with negativity because he's trying to teach you a lesson and you're holding on to the past. You can't get to the future if you're holding on to the past. Everything is done in the present, but in the present, you must be mindful that the past is the past and you are trying to strive for your future. I hope this has been nice. I am Saldablerd. Until next time, stay woke, kings and queens.